Now joining us for EMET is the infamous cat burglar herself. You ready for Halloween, Catwoman?
Well, Ron, Halloween is looking perfectly delightful in Denver. Now, if you're not sure what to do yet for tomorrow, it just so happens I have a couple of ideas. And there's a reason why Halloween is my favorite time of the year. Check these out. To start, your local theater will have two great must-sees tomorrow: Scout's Guide to the Zombie Apocalypse and Burnt, starring Bradley Cooper. Then there's Elitch Gardens Fright Fest, the last night of the Haunted Field of Screams Haunted House, Halloween Denver's largest costume party, which will be kicking off at the Curtis Hotel and City Hall. The Burlesque Show at Laney's Clock Tower Cabaret, Boo at the Zoo, and Skeletons in the Wardrobe Tea at the Molly Brown House and Museum. Now, out of all of those things, there was still one attraction I forgot to mention. If all this Halloween planning has you feeling a little cuckoo, you can find the cure at the asylum. This Halloween is looking pretty crazy this year. Okay, maybe more like downright psychopathic. And there can only be one reason: you've entered the Asylum Haunted House. In 2013, ranking at #1 on the Discovery Channel's list of top 13 scariest haunted house attractions in the US, the Asylum is pulling out all the stops this year to scare you silly. Mutants and flesh-eating zombies are the first things to greet you when you arrive at Primitive Fear Patient Alpha. Things go from 0 to 100 real quick when you're forced to dig into a body to find the code to escape a room full of horrors, into a quarantine town full of colorful characters, and post-mortem the escape. Your only chance of salvation lies within the abandoned asylum. Randy, tell us the story behind the asylum.
So the asylum is definitely its own little story. We're Gordon Cottingham's Asylum for the Criminally Insane is our full title. But it's just 100% crazy through and through.
A production like this needs to be looked into further.
It takes months of preparation. We start planning right after Halloween, sometimes even before we get ideas for next year, and then it's just kind of letting those ideas develop and figuring out how we're going to implement them. And the actors are not allowed to touch you. Beyond that, they're going to get close to you. They're going to make loud noises. They're going to get right up next to you. Some of them about as close as they can without touching you.
I'm a big fan of the way that we have our set up for Primitive Fear. It's very large, very spacious. There's a lot of room to run around and do a lot of jump scares. And as for the asylum, when you're in the asylum, you feel crazy. It's very conducive to being a psycho.
So, are folks ready for what lies ahead?
I think we're gonna die.
Explore the darkest, craziest part of your life.
For the Met Report, I'm Melanie Townsend. Check out the asylum. We saw this place with all the lights on, and I was still jumping. Lucky for me, Ron Burgundy was behind the camera looking out for me, so thanks, bud. For those who don't know, legend tells that during All Hallows Eve, the veil between this world and the next is at its thinnest, and spirits are more likely to make themselves known. So it's no wonder Miranda McHotchkins encounters some real paranormal activity.
We're here tonight to see if there's anybody here. Are you attached to the old car?
We are here with a.a.p.a, which is a paranormal investigation group, and they are doing an investigation, and we're coming along and filming it with them.
Stephen founded the American Association of Paranormal Investigators 15 years ago because of a curiosity for the spooky, paranormal, and the haunted.
I believe that this isn't the only existence that we have.
Stephen took us to a business he'd never investigated before and wasn't sure what we'd find.
This is a location that has some activity in the surrounding area, not specifically this location. One of the things we're going to do here tonight is we're going to try a couple controlled experiments.
Here's something talking to us over there in the corner.
These are the laser mic EVP systems. Basically what the receiver does for these is it takes light waves and turns them into audio waves. You say hello, please.
Stephen thought he heard a child. Is there a child here? Oh, I think it was interesting. Like Stephen mentioned, we had a few things happen, but we can't conclude anything at this point.
For the Met Report,
There is life on the other side.
Miranda McCotchkins.
So what was more scary for you, Mr. Ron Burgundy? Was it being trapped in the asylum or being trapped in a room full of ghosts?
Oh, Knights of Columbus. Those ghosts at that place were the scariest. Brick, you were there with me. They were really scary.
It was scary.
Yes,
it was very scary.
Yeah, but the asylum was really good too, though. But those are fake things. Like,
Yeah.
there's nothing real there. Where we went, there were real ghosts. It was kind of scary.
Yeah, I don't know about talking flashlights, so.
Yeah, talking
They were
about
there.
that.
Yeah, after seeing that, I think I'm a believer now.
Yeah,
So
yeah, us too. All right, well, don't go anywhere. Sports is next.